Recently, I watched the latest episode of 90 Days Single Life, and something Big Ed said stood out to me. Actually, there has been multiple things I've noticed about this little man that screams creep, and I want to talk about it. Big Ed, formerly known as Edward Allen Brown, was a participant on TLC's 90 Day Fiancé. He was previously in a relationship with Rose Vega. At the time of their relationship, Ed was 54 and Rose was 23, and that's like a 30-year age gap. Usually age gaps are 2 to 3 years, and usually the woman is younger. People do have different views on age gap relationships, especially very big ones, but I think as long as it's two consenting adults, it's fine. But do keep in mind that there are older men who like to go for younger women because they can easily manipulate them, because women their age wouldn't take their BS because they know better. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Do I think that's the case with Big Ed? Yeah. Rose is from the Philippines, and just by looking at her home, you can tell that she isn't making much. She also has a son and wants more kids. Big Ed complains about her hairy legs, her breath, and tells her to take an STD test. Could you imagine how embarrassing that would be? You're on national TV with the guy you're interested in, and he tells you, hey, shave your legs, and gives you toothpaste to fix your stinky breath. He could have approached the whole toothpaste situation in a different way, like, hey babe, here's our toothpaste, and I'm just gonna put it here in order for you to easily find it when you want to use it. And I get the shaving thing, there's nothing wrong with preferring your partner to have shaved legs, but calling it less feminine and saying you care about her, really? Really? And I'm sorry, but Rose is out of Ed's league, and he has the audacity to come at her for all these things. Like, Ed, she isn't complaining about your non-existent neck. Actually, I shouldn't even say that because he does have a condition. But she isn't complaining about your weight or your height, so yeah. So, Big Ed got a vasectomy, a medical sterilization procedure for men who want to permanently prevent pregnancy. I do find it weird how Ed got a vasectomy knowing that this young girl wanted more kids, and a lot of people say that she was using Ed, but how about him? Wasn't he using her for her looks and for you know what? No. Rose is from the Philippines, a country located in Southeast Asia, which makes her Asian. Now, if you don't know, there is this stereotype about how Asian women are submissive and hypersexual, and these stereotypes are often portrayed on television. Isn't this just perfect for the power-hungry little Ed? He knows she wants a better life for her and her son, and in exchange, he can do and ask whatever he wants of her. And his job? It involves photographing women, telling them to do this pose and that pose. Again, power-hungry man. Okay, let's talk about the drinks. So, in one scene, after Ed asked Rose to shave, she's in the shower and, the crew's talking to him, and he's all like, I think the champagne got her excited. And maybe I'm reading too much into this, but he's always fixing or offering drinks, especially to Liz. This behavior is very risky because when someone wants to take advantage of you, they try to lessen or get rid of your consciousness with either drinks or drugs. It's usually when things are getting heated and Big Ed's like, hey, want a drink? As if that's the appropriate time to say something like that. He's probably trying to easily manipulate her into forgiving him with the help of getting her drunk or even a little tipsy. Or even if it's a conversation where he's trying to understand what she thinks about him romantically. It's just weird. But I also want to talk about Liz's behavior. The way she acts contradicts the things she says. In one scene, we have Liz who is visiting Ed to talk about how he came at her for running into her ex-husband coincidentally. And he literally pours her a drink! You guys cannot tell me I'm crazy. He always resorts to getting a drink. Not a bottle of water or apple juice, but wine. So anyways, we have Liz, who is obviously upset about Ed acting jealous, and she has this whole fit on. She clearly doesn't care about the jokes he makes, and she's tired of it all. But then by the end of the conversation, they make up, which I don't get. But maybe it's because Ed is successfully manipulating her, or it's because of that TLC drink, which must be huge because, oh wow. I mean, is this how every argument is going to be with them? They talk about it, he offers her a drink to alter her mind, makes these flavorless jokes, and then they make up, and then make more flavorless jokes. In the last episode, we had Ed and Liz going on a trip. 3 hours in a car. But don't worry, she's got headphones. She came prepared. Like, Ed's in the car, twisting his whole body to face her and talk to her. So previously, Ed got a room with separate beds, but somehow there's an issue with that. And Ed ends up changing the room, well, taking the room with the king-size bed. Wow, what a coinkydink. And this was a whole issue with the hotel that they were staying at. And the past couples in that episode said he could have asked for a rollaway bed, but that wouldn't be fun for Big Ed, right? I think he planned it though. So when he tells her, she looks annoyed and suspicious, but she's like, I don't have a problem with it. It's just suspicious? Is that what she said? He also brought condoms. This tells me everything I need to know. He isn't even in a relationship with her. Ed, you haven't even kissed her. Well, her nose, if you want to count that. And he knows that they both have trust issues and issues on top of issues, but he still thinks he's going to get lucky tonight. So they get to the place, and what do you know? What do you know? He pops out a glass of wine. What the heck? I'm genuinely scared for her. But they end up kissing, and this scene, oh my gosh, it should be in a horror movie because it was really hard to watch. The sound of the silence, the sound of them kissing. Oh my gosh, are you guys eating each other or something? Like, hungry, somebody's hungry. The way he's leaning like a roach on the wall. And I'm over here thinking like, Liz, girl, are you good? Are you sober? Are you okay? You know, like, she's got a glass in her hand. Oh my gosh, she's got a glass in her hand. And we don't even see him drinking anything. She's the only one who's drinking. Then while they're, getting into bed, he says he loves her. That's it, guys. It's time to go. It's time to go. When somebody says this too early, don't take it as a compliment. Because how can you love someone that quick? Within this relationship, it's all been arguments. And granted, that's what happens in normal relationships, but they have deeper issues. Maybe he loves the idea of being in love, but it's really just lust. He just loves the fact that he gets to do you. Anyways, in the preview, Ed says she tasted like a peach. I'm gagging. Oh Lord. But yeah, the question is, did they or did they not do the deed? In the latest episode, we find out that they did do the deed. Oh my gosh. Our girl Lizzie here has been working extra hard for that check, okay? She's like, yes. When I'm done with this show, I am getting my own mansion, honey. Okay. And Ed's like, we did it 2 times, and he says it was a dream. Oh my gosh, it probably was. I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't believe this. There's no way Liz can see Big Ed as boyfriend material when he's obviously jealous, has trust issues, and is insecure. This has to be for the check. And Liz is working for that money. She is working. The next day, he asks Liz to be his GF.
Why are we going so fucking fast, nigga? We stopped though. Yeah, what?
No, but actually, why are they moving so fast? And then he thinks it's a good idea to ask her, hey, want to meet my daughter? And Liz does not like the idea. I can't wait till after the show for it to get out that this relationship was fake, because there's no way that this was real. Okay, so I am going to put a trigger warning here. I'm going to be speaking about sexual assault and grooming. At the end of April of last year, a woman on TikTok accused Big Ed of grooming and sexually assaulting her, and she said most of these instances took place through text messages. She goes by 𝘠𝘪𝘬, and all I can say is that if this is true, I'm not surprised. And from what I could find, Big Ed hasn't said anything about this. Big Ed definitely comes off as a creep to me, as well as many other things, but hopefully he can change. He probably won't. He probably will. But it's scary to think how he could escalate and who could be the next young, beautiful girl he preys on. That's all for today, you guys. See you in the next video. Stay safe, stay great.